guys, welcome to the Coach Series. My name is Vikram Kodithuaku. I am the program designer for this series. Today I'm joined by Danica here, who's one of our national swimmers of our country. I'll be running through with you guys today your home workout for an upper body workout. It's a strength-based workout. We've kept it functional with the use of no equipment at all. So, starting off, we're going to start with the press up. This is actually a superset, so there's two separate movements that we're going to incorporate together, going back to back. The first movement is a push-up. So if we go down to ground, so the first thing we want to make sure, the spacing of our hands, we want to make sure the hands are just outside your shoulders width. You're pushing through the balls of your feet nice and firmly through the ground to keep that core active and that glute switched on. So from here, we're going to go on a 5, 5, 0, 1 tempo. So you're going to go down for 5 seconds. So he's going down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Once you bring your shoulders parallel to that elbow, hold for that 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and you drive up nice and explosively. You wait for that 1 second at the top, and you go down for 5 again. 4, 3, 2, 1. Once it gets parallel, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drive up nice and strong. So like Danica was doing, you want to keep that core nice and strong. Don't let your bum be too high. Don't let it be too low. If this press up is too challenging for yourself, make sure you bring your knees down to ground. Keep the hips still extended. Don't have your bum too far back. You want to have it not too far forwards, keeping that core braced nice and neutral in that line. Still following the same method with your elbows. So hinging down again for that 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Once the elbows get in line with that shoulder, pause for that 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and he's going to drive up. Okay, so that's the progression and the regression for that first exercise. So for the second movement that we're going to go on to, so it's a speed push-up. So if you've got the normal push-up variation and it's comfortable and you don't have to regress the knee down one, the idea of this one is, before the first movement we did was a nice and controlled, the 5 second eccentric, 5 second pause, and powering up. For the second movement, we're trying to work on speed. So again, same into a press up position. The optimal speed that Danica can build is what we're after. So Danica, when you're ready, buddy, just show us that speed that you got. Just like that, nice and explosive. Keeping that speed and tempo under that muscle, and ease off there. And if you're fatiguing through that position, bring the knees down, same movement, just like so. The rep count, so for the first movement, ease off, dude. So for the first movement that we're gonna do, that we did, which was the controlled push-up, we're going from 8 to 10 rep range. For the second movement that we did, which was the speed push-ups, we're going for a 16 to 20 rep range. And of this, we want to do 4 sets in total with a 60-second rest in between each set. Hope you guys enjoy that first part. Right, guys, so coming back to part 2 of the upper body strength workout. For this section, we're going to be targeting mainly your shoulders as well as your midline and your core, because that's a really important part we don't want to neglect when doing anything that's functionally orientated. So first thing we're going to do is the feet elevated handstand push-up. Now this is a regressed version that a lot of you will be able to do in the comfort of your own home. So I'm going to use Danica again to show you guys and demonstrate. What you'll need first is like a bench, a chair, or a bed that you can place your feet onto, and the rest, your hands are going to be on the ground. So Danica is going to demonstrate for me. So if you put your feet on there to begin with. What you want to do here is you want to make sure you bend your knees, bring your feet right towards the edge, and you bring your hands back so you got your hips stacked over those shoulders, or as close to being over those shoulders as you can. And from here, the spacing in between your hands are again outside your shoulders width. You want to control this movement down. So it's going to go down for 3 seconds. Down for 1, 2, 3, and then drive up nice and explosively. And again, control down for 3, 2, 1, and explode up nice and strong. Ease off there, D. Nicely done, dude. And on here, what we're going to be doing is rep ranges between 8 to 10 reps, depending on your strength and your ability. This is again a superset. We're going from this into a wall walk, which I'll show you in just a second. Right, guys, so we're going into the second move on part 2. So once you finish your handstand push-ups that we did with your feet elevated, once you finish your 8 to 10 reps of that, you're going to conduct 3 wall walks. The wall walks is a bit of a technical movement. It's a bit of an advanced movement, but there are many ways you can regress it depending on the distance you walk and as to how high up the wall you walk as well, to help you allow to regress the movement for yourself. So on this position, so we're going to start off in a press-up position next to a wall. It's really important that the wall is strong, that it's not going to collapse on you, so don't just use any kind of board or anything else available. Make sure it's a strong wall. Coming down onto a press-up stance, make sure your feet are pushed down hard against the floor and your hands are nice and flat. You want to be in a nice strong position through your core. First thing you're going to do is with the balls of your feet, you're going to start walking up that wall. So remember, the key thing here is to not allow your heels to touch the wall. You're going to control that walk and walk in sync with your arms and your legs, keeping that core nice and strong. And once you're at the top end, you're going to walk back out nice and controlled. Don't let the feet slide. Remember, you're trying to control that walk down to ground. As a way you can regress this movement to make it a little bit easier for you. When you walk up the wall, you can start to bend your knees and walk your hands back at the same time. So when Dainaka walks up the wall, he's going to come to a position that he feels confident. He's going to pause it there. The legs are going to stay there, and then he's going to gently walk back with his arms, keeping the knees bent. All right, so making sure the load is handled easier through your body and you're not arching that back. And then you're going to control that walk down, again, with your feet and your hands at the same time. And remember, guys, we're doing 3 reps of this as part of the superset, and you're going to be doing 3 sets in total of the handstand push-ups as well as the wall walk. Right, guys, welcome to part 3 of today's workout. So for this section, we're going to be a little bit more creative because none of you are going to have like a TRX or even a pull-up bar at home, but we still need to work that posterior chain, so get that back feeling strong. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a towel. We're going to use this lovely little rig we've got here that you can attach a towel to, but you can do the same by attaching a towel to your banister on your stairs at home, any kind of hook that's attachable, but that's really secure so it's not going to fall into your face. So what we're going to do is, first focus is to get the towel wrapped around something, make sure it's nice and even. I've got Dainaka here again to demonstrate for you exactly what the movement is. The purpose of this, like I said, is working your back, your mid-back, your lats, your rear delts on this position, as well as some bicep work going on. First thing we want to do, so your feet placement. Your feet placement has to make sure it's nice and close to where the towel is attached to. From this point, you're going to bend your knees. You're going to bring yourself nice and low towards the ground and extend those arms and lean back away from it. So your palms are going to start off facing the ground. As you pull, you're going to pronate those palms, and so supinate those palms towards you. So as you pull, you'll feel Dainaka extend up, pull through your arms as he comes through. Remember, we're not pushing through the legs. The legs are just there for support. And again, transitioning back, nice and controlled, extending those arms away and controlling that eccentric. And again, pulling in, pause, and then nice, slow control, taking about 3 seconds on that way back. On here, we're going to work from 8 to 10 rep range. Soon after you finish your 8 to 10 reps, we're going to go into a towel iso hold. So, on an iso row, even should I say. So first you want to do, make sure the towel's wrapped up. You're going to stand with your feet at shoulders width apart on top of the towel to start off. Once your weight is distributed evenly, dude, can I get you to turn to your side real quick? That's perfect. So first thing I want you guys to pay attention to is the position Dainaka is going to get into. So while your feet are on the towel itself, you're going to bend your knees, sit your bum down, make sure that mid-back and lower back is a little tight. We want to make sure the chest is a little bit parallel. So you're going to pull your chest a little lower, lifting the bum up as fraction, just there. And you want to make sure that chin is neutral to your spine. So there, neutralize that head. From here, slightly bend those elbows and create as much tension trying to pull that towel up towards you. So as you do so, you'll feel the tension kick up on your rear delts, your lats to act as stability, your mid-back improving that upper back strength. On here, we're going to do, relax it, we're going to do 20 to 30 second holds depending on your strength and your ability. Of these 2 movements, you're going to repeat for 3 sets. So you've got 8 to 10 rows with the towel and going straight into a 20 to 30 second isometric hold with the towel. Right, guys, welcome to part 4 of the upper body workout. We're going to transition slowly into more of a core dominant workout, but still utilizing our upper body strength. This is a tricep, so it's 3 different movements put together, working 30 seconds of each movement at a time. So, got my beautiful model Dainaka over here. So we're going to go down first onto a side plank, a straight arm side plank. So on this purpose, the main thing that you'd think about is the placement of your fingers. You point your fingers in front of you. So Dainaka, if you go onto a side plank, buddy, and you make sure your feet are stacked on top of each other like so, with the top arm turning, clenching that fist to create tension through the arm and pinching the shoulder blades behind your back. You're going to hold this position for 30 seconds, and once you complete, you're going to switch onto the opposite side. So that's the first movement. So remember, there's 3 separate movements, ease off there, dude. And then we're going to go into a straight arm, single arm plank, frontal plank. So on this one, again, using a single arm, your fingers pointing in front of you, you're going to go into a the top end of a press-up position. And one hand is going to be on the ground, and the opposite is going to be placed in between your wrist and your elbow. Do not place it up towards the elbow because the lateral pressure will push the elbow to buckle. And your hips, key thing with your hips, using that left hand grip, you're going to help stabilize those hips to keep it nice and level so that core is switched on. Again, this movement we're doing for 30 seconds. Once you finish 30 seconds on one side, you transition for 30 seconds on the opposite side. And for the final movement, we're going to go into a reverse bridge. So Danica is going to go sit onto the ground to start with. What you want to make sure, guys, on this movement, that your hand placement and your feet placement is in line with those hips. So feet lined up with those hips, making sure your knees are in line with those hips. Your fingers can either be pointed straight back or to the outside to make it a little bit less challenging on that shoulder range. What you want to do is from here, driving through your hands and your feet, mainly through those heels, you're going to extend the hip up into the air. When you're here, your focus is to get as much tension through the entire posterior chain. So your hammies, you feel the tension, your glutes, your lower back, and that shoulder blade should be nice and tightly engaged. And ease up. So on this position, remember, you're doing 30 seconds of the first one, which was the side plank, 30 seconds of the second one, which was that frontal plank, and 30 seconds of the last one, which was the reverse bridge. You'll be doing 3 sets of this, with 60 seconds break in between each set. Right, guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed that upper body strength workout, working those shoulders, your chest, and that midline strength of yours. On this workout series, you'll also find videos on how to do an efficient warm-up and on a recovery video. One of the most important things, guys, of working out is to ensure that you warm up correctly and that you cool down really well. So we made sure that you guys have those videos available in the touch of your finger to do at the comfort of your home. Let us know how you get on. I hope you guys enjoy the video.